Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, welcome to the stream. I'm Ryunosuke, and today we are playing The Great Ace Attorney, Chronicles. And I'm also I'm a little late because one of my things is saying that the stream isn't so good, but I have changed 0 settings, so I'm sitting here very confused and going, why do these things never tell me earlier? So let me give, it's on the YouTube side, so let me give it just like a quick little look at the settings and see if I could do something quickly to like, oh wait, nope, it's happy now, never mind. Why are you like this, you little shite? I also think I fixed chat box finally. So hopefully that's working more how I want it to. But yeah, so yeah, I love it when I open up my stream and it immediately has tech issues. Like, why? Also, I forgot to turn the mic volume down. That might have been loud a bit. I turned it down now, so hopefully that'll be okay. Alright, let's actually get into the game now that I'm not getting confused by my technology anymore, and it's happy now, apparently, and I don't know why it was unhappy. Why are you like this? Technology things. It's not even just my laptop. It's like on the other end too. I don't know why. Let's go play the Victorian era game. Oh, I forgot to load up things. Hold on. Let me get that going. I'm again, last minute thing. I'm just like gonna have this so it doesn't have just loading blank screen. It's better if I'm like this. Okay, now it's actually. Oh boy. One of those days. Alright, the music's suspenseful because we just found out. Well, I'm gonna just say this. We are on the second to the last episode in this series, so if you're here new, I'm going to just tell you you're gonna get all the spoilers, and if you stay here, you're just gonna have to deal with that. I always feel like I have to put some kind of disclaimer. Anyway. So, Tobias Gregson is dead, Van Zieks is the one who's being accused, and everyone is like, wait, what? What? What do you mean Gregson's dead? What do you mean Van Zieks is accused. I mean, he's not the best I mean, some parts of his personality leave much to be desired, but no, he would not do that. So that's why the music's suspenseful right now. Also, I'm pretty sure Shlum's had a moment of just being very unhappy. Just kind of rare. We usually see him very upbeat. He doesn't get serious too much, let alone, like, have fits of, like, getting genuinely unhappy. Most of the time when he seems unhappy, it's, like, a bit more than anything, so... we can go to the crime scene, or we can talk to Van Zieks right now, and I want to go talk to Van Zieks. Also, I'm a bit too big for this. I might be a little bit too big for Ace Attorney. Let me shrink down here. Alright, where does... Nope, not that way. This is prison. I just realized these are two different prisons, I think. Let's go talk to Van Zieks. Oh, hi, Van Zieks. Hello! Hi there. What are you reading? Okay. Yeah, local prison. Yeah, definitely not Barclay prison. We're going to two prisons.
There he is. Lord Van Zieks behind bars. So it's true. He really was arrested. He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zieks.
Hi. Hello.
Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be. The last person on Earth I'd like to see.
Are you sure about that? He probably is at this moment.
I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was...
Go home. This has nothing to do with you.
But... Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree.
Get him, Susato.
Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. So you must help us with our investigations, please.
There's really nothing I can tell you.
What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case?
This. The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with his information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance.
Oh, who might that be?
Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Hairbrain.
Of course, yes. I keep forgetting that they went to the same university.
Yeah, they're buddies! We need Albert back here, Mr. Dandelion Head, to offset Van Zieks' gloominess. Also, hello, Margaret. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it does look like chat's working. Okay, I did figure it out. I was worried about that, but it looks like I finally got around to it. It actually works! Okay, victory. Despite the initial technical difficulties of just getting things to work, despite not changing any freaking settings in that regard, and it's like, something's wrong. I'm like, why? Always a fun thing to see, and then it just worked itself out, which is somehow more frustrating and also relief in equal measure. But moving on. I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Anything you're willing to give, honestly.
Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow.
I like how the music cuts out for a bit and then it's right back to Van Zieks' thing. Makes sense, we're talking to him, but at the same time. Apparently we really gotta notice that has his hackles less raised than usual. Apparently that's vitally important, given the music cut out for it, but okay. What does this, okay. We have what happened in Professor Hairbrain's letter. We could just... Ryunosuke, why are you being nosy about his letter? I suppose you have grounds to ask. You were his defense lawyer. Anyway, what happened? Yeah. Oh, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but I'm sleepy today. I genuinely did not get enough sleep today, and I'm blinking a lot. Let me see if I can fix that. But yeah, I'm going to probably be a little more, yawny, sleepy. I need a nap. There really isn't a time to take a nap before stream. So apologies in advance, but I will do my best to stifle my yawns when I can. Okay. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? What happened? He's just quiet for a bit. How much do you already know? Not much at all. We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street, and that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. We were told that there was nobody else in the room, and that some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed. There's really nothing I can add. Truth is, I don't know what happened myself. But the gunshot! Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise. However, before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that. Oh! After all, not representing me. He is going to need a lawyer, though. Are we gonna... Yeah, okay, we do get another option. We can ask about Hairbrain later. Okay, your defense. Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zieks? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Ha! Ryunosuke's like, why are you being difficult? Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, all of the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now. Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole. You didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? He's quiet. It's been 10 years now that I have been known as the Reaper of the Baily. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that. What does he mean by that? We don't get information on that. I'm like, nope, no new question there. Okay, now we're asking about Hairbrain. How's he doing?
After that trial, Professor Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought.
A letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper.
Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean?
Yes, so it seems. Your stupid little Nipponese friend, for example.
You can call him by name. Not like Tatsume. You said it before.
You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I acquired the other day.
I'm gonna trip up on my words.
Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Hairbrain is safe back in Germany now.
He is.
Oop, that ends that conversation. Well, this is the tail end. We don't get to ask more questions.
So, it appears our conversation has run dry.
There was a 2-second silence, that's all.
In any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you.
I was wondering, Lord Van Zieks, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you.
Oh, that surprised him.
You trust me, do you?
Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would have never taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in court of law, sadly.
You have such a low opinion of Ryunosuke Van Zieks, and then here's Ryunosuke going, no, I don't think you would do this, despite you being a complete jerk to me most of the time. I would be willing to represent you. Put that in your ticker and think about it a bit. I will sass this man. Like, in all honesty, my opinion of Van Zieks is he's a really good character. I do overall like him, but I also still think he's dumb as the rest of the Ace Attorney cast, because really, are you really an Ace Attorney character if you don't have your dumb side? I like this series way too much. Well, maybe not way too much. Just a lot. That's fine. Anyway.
It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one.
What?
Police, judiciary, and all you Nipponese.
But, please.
I have no intention of engaging your services.
Chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems.
I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time.
Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zieks. What happened to Inspector Gregson?
Okay, time to go. You don't even. He just sits there. You don't have any option to do anything. You can literally just leave. You can just sit here and stare at him or leave. Okay, let's go to Fresno Street. Crime scene. Oh. I was expecting to end up outside of a building, not inside a building. Usually you end up outside of the building. There's a lady in a portrait. Okay. Yep, right. Fresno Street. Look at all the coppers.
This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people find their way down this back street. So, this just really rented old room is where it happened then.
Oh.
So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, The police are already hard at work, investigating, it seems.
Oop. Hello there. El Toto?
I don't see Mr. Schlums anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere.
Oi! What do you think you're doing there? Every one of those drawers has got to be taken out so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey! Ain't you lot never gone over a house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? Well, leave it to Gina to use her pass as a pickpocket and thief to go do a more thorough inspection of things. Let's go, Gina. She's having a good time, sort of. Certainly working.
Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques. She wants everyone to adopt.
Oh, she grumpy. Oh, so you've turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself.
Hello again, Gina.
Schlums has only just left. You're lucky I missed that. He went prancing about in here, pointing at stuff and flicking that out of his. And then he just scampered.
Oh, he finished investigating already, you mean?
Yeah, he didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me.
Gina, do you mind if we investigated too?
Listen, Odo. You're a lawyer, right?
Yes. Why?
Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are ya?
Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zieks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court.
I suppose you're right, yeah. Go on then, Odo. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here.
Thank you, Gina.
Okay, can we talk to her? Yes, we can. I want to talk to Gina first. Inspector Gregson.
Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I want to know. It's what? Half a year since I got out of the clink? That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead.
Oh yes, Mr. Schlums twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. Turns out, he's a bit of a legend at the yard.
Goodness, really?
Because of the Schlums book things? They say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that.
He did?
Yep. And ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's worked on are, apparently.
That's how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this?
I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, and look where that landed him.
Respect for the Reaper? In what way?
I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to that fella, were his words.
Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper.
Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he used to Rex the bloke.
I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such high regard.
He said something else to me and all. That I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, cause he only goes after people what are bad. It kind of set my mind at ease when he said that.
Right.
Okay, crime scene.
What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently, it's been rented by some cove called Hugh Bounet. Hugh Bounet. It's sort of here today, gone tomorrow name. That isn't it? Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We have been able to get in touch with him. I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right? All the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation. But there's so little here. Nobody knew what to do with themselves.
She was certainly ordering them around, though. Why do I get the feeling Gina is a better investigator? she get the investigation crew done. Oh, if she wasn't doing the inspector thing, I wonder if she'd be better at... Well, she doesn't have the learning for it, but the forensics team. That kind of thing. Anyway.
I do wonder. Yes, Miss Susato? Well, could it be that this Hugh Bounet is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. I'd never even considered that. Nice work, Suze. We're actually following a line of inquiry. Yeah, a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are. If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it. We should really investigate this place in detail.
We will. I want to finish talking to Gina, though. Okay, last prompt. The incident.
I see that's where the poor inspector was found, over there.
There's a wig on the ground. I think it's a wig, at least.
Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently, the bullet went right through him and stuck that candle tree on the wall. Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles apart completely.
Oh, you mean the burnt what? That candle... Wait, what do they call it? Do they use a proper name? I don't think so. Candle tree. That does have a proper name. They use it in Dragon Quest Builders, but I cannot think of it right now. But yeah. Why is one candle not melted like the rest? It just looks like it exploded? It has cracks in it? I'm not exactly just sure what to call those burn patterns, but it don't look right. Is there a Rube Goldberg machine going on here? You know, you have a string over a candle and it burns it and the string goes away so it doesn't look like anything. Sorry, that's what's coming to mind. Anyway, moving on.
And the gun used is there on the floor. It's the Reaper's, isn't it? No denying that. What? Really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with those big white eyes. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him? A bigwig lawman, is it?
Strongheart? That's the only lawman I can think of that's been mentioned. We shouldn't have... Wait, did we get any new Well, we get some, like, new jury members and witnesses, maybe, but... I don't think we get any more law people. At least I don't remember. There's been a lot that I've forgotten. I've only played this once, which is why I'm happy to play it a second time. Anyway. That's what she's for herself? Okay. Anyway, Fresno Street runs along under that window there. Gina may have Gina has many practical brain cells. She do! She really do.
There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down the yard for some questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. Beginning a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping for, and you'll be up for grilling and all. So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Okay. That's enough talking to Gina for now. I already need some water. Drinkies. Water. Mizu, Aqua. I feel like there's another... I should know one more word that means water in another language. I feel like I cannot think of it right now. Well, I know how to say water 3 ways if you include English, but that's not what I'm meaning. Okay, let's look around. Paintings. Fireplace? An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all, and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other.
Candle. Lamp. Oh, nope. We're on the photograph.
Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of the Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah! What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are! Look, Mr. Naruhodo, quickly! It's a lady! Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow?
It's Miss Visual, you just saw her!
Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning. Ah, it's Miss Visual. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Visual in here?
It's Mrs. I keep reading it as Miss. It's Mrs. She is married. It's Mrs. Why am I like this?
To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either.
Frame photograph. Photographic print of a smiling Mrs. Visual in her younger years. It was found on a desk at the scene of the crime. Interesting. I think we could just poke this. Can we poke this officer? Yes.
Excuse me.
Oh, Inspector.
Oh, sir. Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset.
Are all the officers No, you have a different thing. Are you gonna be? I doubt they're gonna say much of interest, but let's continue investigating the room. They usually don't.
This looks like some sort of notice board or something. And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, look! This, you mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? And these are case notes here, and details of a prison inmates. Yes, in fact, they're all sorts of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here. Oh yes, the advertisement you mean. To the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason.
We investigated ourselves?
candle. The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's wax splattered on the wall behind. Look. I suppose if a bullet had hit it. It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Ugh. All of that wax on the wall looks like blood to me.
Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see, candelabrum. Candelabrum, yeah. Yeah, it's a candelabrum. There's chandeliers and candelabrums. And then I just said it earlier, I feel like, oh boy. There's all sorts of fancy words to make individual things, but yeah, what does it say underneath? A candelabrum from the wall of the room on the Fresno Street where the inspector was found dead. The top of one of the candles appears to have been blown off. And they're different heights! It's still bugging me. Okay. Chalk line. Rope line, I guess.
Oh, I suppose this is where the victim... That's right. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Or Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. And would probably be under Dr. Sint's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image. That's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality.
This is why vague horror is better than explicit horror. Leeway.
Susato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am.
Or she's better at hiding it. Can I? Oh, I can click the wig separately. I'm like, they didn't mention the wig. Can I click on it?
Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funnily enough, neither can I.
Oh wait, it's Ryunosuke.
It's a hairpiece, isn't it?
It is! It is!
A bright red hairpiece. And I suppose the fact that it's right here... I suppose the fact that it's right here...
I keep saying the wrong word!
I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, doesn't it? And such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly! This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
Okay. Red hairpiece. A flame red wig found on the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. Presumably it belongs to Inspector Gregson. Oh, I should look at all these things once we finish looking around. Okay. Oh, we got the gun. There's like a toy soldier too on the ground.
This is presumably the murder weapon then. Oh my. It is real, I suppose. I think so. Since they're so rare in Japan. I really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
Fire a shot. I don't know. That's messing with the crime scenes. It's not a lie.
No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer just to ask someone who might know, I think.
Killer's revolver. The murder weapon that was found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. Probably best to avoid handling it. Especially someone as unskilled as you two.
Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way. Seeing it as it's on the floor here, Do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zieks playing with something like this.
He does make models, though, so he could have a little figure to be a model.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all, in a way.
A policeman figure. Oop, I didn't read the description. Whoops. Hold on. Let's see. A small and rather endearing model of a British policeman found at the scene of the crime on Fresno Street. So, okay. Is that everything? We got on this side of the room. Let's check. Ooh, okay. I'm having too much fun with the little crosshair. Yeah, it looks like this side's good. I think we could talk to the policemen and see if they say anything, just to be sure.
Excuse me.
Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Oh no, somebody get this man a hug! And some cocoa. Preferably of the Ashgardian variety, because that stuff's good.
Right. Perhaps I'd better leave you to your work.
All these guys are depressed. Poor guys.
Excuse me.
You're looking down on us from the Great Brion, Inspector. Don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard.
I've interrupted some deep thoughts there.
Oh no. Oh, wait, we got this window?
Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. This one does at least still let in some light. You could say nothing more about it.
Why did you interrupt her, Ryunosuke?
I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now.
Is that everything?
Ooh.
Okay. We might be able to show the gun to Van Zieks, if the game will let us, but let's look at the evidence we've gathered so far. Okay. Alright, from the first time around, we get this little red-haired League article. Apparently Gregson has... Well, if this is Gregson's separate office, might also be somebody else's office. Might be both of their offices, who knows? I don't remember. Not really. Yeah, that might be important still. Oh yeah, Mr. Visual. Mr. Visual. Mr. Visual. Letter of introduction. Oh yeah, this is for the governor. Oh right, there's a steamship ticket on the other side though. Apparently the steam ticket, that might be important. Knowing how this game goes. Dismissal notice. Oh right, Mr. Visual's dismissal notice from 10 years ago. He was a chief warder at Barclay Prison, but he was let go after the professor incident. All that surrounding. Okay, so this is actual new stuff. Frame photograph. Oh, we just see it. Got a gem. She got earrings. She has not changed her style much. She's just gotten fancier. Okay. Oh yeah, we can actually... Oh my gosh, look at that candle. I think it's just wrecked. I need to move because they're gonna pop up. There we go.
Ah, there are some black marks here. Look. Yes, they are. Oh wait, yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right.
I don't think bullets do that, though. They don't ignite things unless they have a specific bullet to ignite things, despite what pop culture media would have you assume. Bullets don't actually do that. They just put holes in things. I'm not even sure if they would let off enough sparks. That's not something I really know. Anyway, I certainly know they don't set things on fire if they're regular old bullets. I don't know how old incendiary bullets are, though. Okay. Look like scorch marks, I think is what Ryunosuke said.
Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
Okay. None of the other candles have the key stuff. We just look at this. Shouldn't there be nails or something in this bit? No. Also think it's funny the idea they just flat out remove this from the wall. Yeah, there's really nothing else to look at for that one. Okay, we got the wig. Aw, I was wondering if there's anything hidden in the wig. Okay, I'll look at it.
I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use a lot of bird lime to keep it in place on your head, so it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean. That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think?
It's just silly dialogue. Yeah, that's the only point of interest. This looks like a hairy little monster, don't it? Okay, what else can we look at? Yeah, we have a couple more. Actual gun. How do they know it was Van Zieks? Okay.
I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh my, it's real.
Oh wait, this is the same as... Okay, same dialogue as when they picked it up. Is that the whole thing? Okay, yeah, they don't want to investigate it more because they don't know much about it. Okay, whoa. Okay, that actually worked. Okay, so the last thing we have to look at is this. Ow, you are kind of beat up, aren't you? You got a big nose. Look at it.
The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The headband looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun.
Maybe you should mess with it?
Shall we try twisting it around and around too, for fun?
Oh. Oh. I think a key popped out. Me and Ryunosuke are kind of blocking it.
Ah, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key. It's tiny though. It couldn't be a key for a door, not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder?
Giving it a twist causes a key-like shaft to pop out from the base. Can I put the key back in?
This looks like some sort of key. Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key. What's the little key doing inside a figure of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for?
It looks like he wanted a stick. It's... How small? They said 8 centimeters. How small is that in? I need to check in, what is it? The Imperial system? Measurement system? Let me pull up the calculator here. We need length. Yeah, inches to centimeters. Okay, we need centimeters to inches in this case. Yeah, 8 centimeters. Oh, it's just slightly above 3 inches. Oh, so it's like as big as your finger thereabouts. Holy cow, that is tiny. That is indeed a tiny little key. Okay, well that puts in perspective in the kind of thing we're looking for. That's gonna be like a hidden... Maybe like a hidden frame? We do have a frame. Oh, but it doesn't let us look at it.
Does it look like there's a tiny keyhole in this frame?
It's gonna be for something hidden, you just know it. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle on over now. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Woo! You know, ghost VTubers must have a great time because they could just float about the screen. And it would be on point. I need to get some more water. Okay, I think we could go back. Try to, like, go back to Van Zieks to see if he'll say something about the gun. Because Gina said it was his. So I guess we can ask about that. But is there any other place we can go for information? I wouldn't say we're necessarily done here. Gina doesn't know either. Maybe I can show her this? Oh, it didn't pop up. It usually pops up in the corner. Yeah. It's just this is repeat dialogue, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Do you have any... No, she has no comment on that. Okay. I don't think there's... Yeah. I don't think we really need to be asked about that. I don't think we need to ask about anything else. Okay. Where else can we go? As far as... I have a sneaking suspicion this other stuff is gonna tie in. But these are the only two right now places. Okay, I guess we'll go back to Van Zieks and see if we can show him the gun. Will the game allow us to do that? No. Can we go to Strongheart? Oh wait, wasn't he sticking around still? Oh, okay, well something's happening. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice Office. Made good time. I took an express train back to London. I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. It's a Sogi! Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train, so I could check... Wait. Check? All the paperwork. Okay. Had a private compartment on the train, so I could check all the paperwork. It's... Kazuma-sama! Hi. Hi, you too. Ah, your timing is impeccable. It is. No doubt you have heard the sickening news. About the Reaper's latest devilry. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh no, surely not. It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes. So, does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. Kazuma has not said a single word. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Hi, Kazuma. Kazuma. Are you gonna say something? Come on, not you too. Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Hello, Grandmires. Leading the prosecution. What? What? Kazuma. He's not saying anything, at least we've seen him. As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor?
He's just standing in the background! Why is it so funny? Hi. What can we say? Tomorrow's trial. He's just gonna sit there. Okay, that's gonna make me laugh. Okay.
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
Through radio?
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Baily, and now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
Lord Van Zieks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. There have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now.
Ah.
No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
Prosecutor Asogi.
So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow.
That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this? But why?
It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Why are you so mean right now? You're such an intense look. Calm down. Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact.
You're quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way.
Ah.
After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks.
So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months. Okay then.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend.
No, it's not. Slap him. I shouldn't. I say that. I'm like, kick him, slap him, or something, but I'm like, I would never do that in real life. Probably. Very specific circumstances would I think I could get away with, like, kicking somebody in the shin. Strongheart is so annoying. Yes, yes he is. Killer's gun. Oh, we can talk about the gun to these two.
Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of the Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belonged to Lord Van Zieks?
That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know. That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct.
It's certainly a model that it is... It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim.
No, Gregson had his gun on his person.
What about Lord Van Zieks?
He claims it's currently not in his possession.
What?
According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, is no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not.
Nonetheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks.
Okay.
Can we show anything else? Did we just show him the gun?
Could I show you this, Lord Strongheart?
Oh, I think this is probably not specific. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna skip through this. Like how Sogi's just like background. Oh wait, we can talk to him probably. Yeah, Asogi! What the heck, man? I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now.
Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything. Oh. Kazuma's theme! It's probably the proper theme, too. Let's just play in the Memories version. I think it's... it's not the other one. Gosh, there's like 3 songs associated with this man, and I cannot remember the titles. I know it always has Samurai in the name. I think Memories of the Samurai is the more sentimental version. And then there's another version, which is much more intense, which I don't think we've heard yet. But I cannot remember for the life of me right now what the normal one is called, so I guess moving on. Oh. Okay, so let me reread. Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do.
Right. Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how do you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia?
Kazuma needs to have a second look at his loyalties to Strongheart. No one likes Strongheart. No one likes Strongheart. At least as a person, you know, like, if this guy was a real person, I don't want to be anywhere near him. As a character, he's fine. As a person, he sucks. Okay.
It was the voice. This past year. I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London.
I'm so sorry for what's happened.
You're acting so weird.
Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before.
Uh-huh?
What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon.
Oop. Oh, last closing bit.
It doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here.
Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much more you could learn from the public gallery.
Okay.
Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Ah! Asogi! I want to slap you right now. That gave me a heart attack. Okay, no, the last one was Memories of the Samurai. Maybe. Yeah, okay. I need a moment. That scared me. Like, genuinely scared me. I think if I was actually there in person, I would have just slapped him on a sheer reaction. Oh my gosh. Or I would have yelped and, like, ran like a meter or two ahead and then curled up into a ball laughing at myself for getting spooked by that. One of the two. Probably the latter, knowing me. The slapping one is more a Saboria. My twin sister's reaction. She has actually nearly smacked people, but she's held herself back. Usually she just gets in a defensive pose. Different reactions from getting spooked. Okay, so what do you want? Wow. You could just be like, hold on a moment, so shouting like a normal person. Unlike a normal person. Okay. Alright. The little ticker's back to normal. Before you go, Ryunosuke.
Oh, what is it, Kazuma?
Just wanted to thank you.
Kazuma-sama, what?
You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection.
You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you.
Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here.
Oh.
Are you gonna... Okay, he's gonna say more.
Actually, I have a favor to ask.
Which is...
This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me. As the defense counsel.
Hi, get out of personal space, Kazuma.
Why? What's this all about?
I know you have what it takes.
But Lord Van Zieks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talent.
He does?
It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this.
That's such an awkward smile! Look! I'm Miss Clint, so this is this is at least 10 years ago or before. Look at that awkward little smile! Oh my gosh! Cute! Look how happy Tobias is! Oh, that's a little bittersweet. Hi Clint, you have antenna hair. I'm sorry. Van Zieks has a fuller little flippy things. Clint kind of looks like he has antenna. He's like a bug. They do quite look a lot alike, don't they, though? Oh, hey, there's a little badge thing. I think that's the prosecutor's badge. I don't think we've gotten to the part where it tells us that, but that's what it is. The clover-looking four-pointed thing. It's kind of covered up by, I don't know if that's an ascot or clavat. Clavat? 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 I think clavat. Which one is the clothing item and which one is a race in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? Oh no! My poor brain is like, nope. I don't remember. Okay. Anyway. Why are we being shown this?
That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson. In a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it.
Kazuma looks so uncomfortable. He is Ramrod, like, standing Ramrod. It's so silly seeing him there.
And who's the third person?
You've seen the big painting of him. It's Clint.
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. Gregson's photograph. An old photographic print displayed rather prominently in Inspector Gregson's office, as if it was a treasured memory. So, Gregson's a sap too. Sappy! Bittersweet sappiness. Okay, yoink.
I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma?
Being an idiot. Is that he? Okay. Can't talk to you more. Yeah, we don't have anything. Huh, I'm surprised. Can I leave now? Kazuma's not gonna give me a heart attack again? Good! He looks like a lackey standing behind Strongheart. Foreshadowing? Maybe. Right, prison. We want to go to the prison. Now I feel like there's gonna be a jump scare any second now. Kazuma yelling really put me on edge. Freaking Kazuma.
Lord Van Zieks is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. Might he even be able to read English faster than he can?
Yeah. You can always get Van Zieks to respond when you start talking nonsense around him, and then he's like, "Excuse me, but why?" I was intending to ignore you entirely. I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting... Oh, such an insulting Nipponese.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that.
I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Can we have them?
Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business.
So, have you found a lawyer?
How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. So no. Ryunosuke calling him out.
In other words, no.
Yeah.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less. Though I have no idea who it is.
It's going to be Kazuma Asogi.
That hit him. Sogi.
And made the color drain from his face.
Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Yay! Should I show him the picture first? I want to show him the picture.
Lord Van Zieks, we came by this old photograph.
Where did you get that? Awkward smile. It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost.
Is that man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother, Clint. First on the left is Lord Clint Van Zieks. Ryunosuke, you had the ability to figure that out, though I suppose that was an optional thing to look at, so, eh.
It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that?
Respect? That's nonsense.
No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less.
Well,
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. It was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, an insight into the true nature of this man known to all as a stone-cold reaper of the Baily.
he's sappy. Can we show him this? I don't know if this is repeat dialogue or not.
What's that?
Ah, it's just something I was hoping to ask your opinion about.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely I'll skip through it. I'll skip through it. No, we cannot ask about that. Okay. I doubt there's anything else I can ask about. Let's actually talk to him. Okay, Asogi, why did you turn pale?
Years ago, my brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. The killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by, and I don't curse the name Asogi.
Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court.
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you.
It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve? And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that?
Sogi. A name. Very,
Epitome. Yeah.
that name is the very epitome of my bane. Bane that is you Nipponese.
Right, your hatred of all of us Japanese.
Stems from one man, and I want to still smack you about that. You're so dumb, Van Zieks. I mean, I'd understand wariness, but to this much extent? Though it also seems like he has trust issues in general.
I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer, so-called professor. Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
And that was Genshin Asogi.
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man.
Oh, this is a different song.
So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh, how awful.
Discount vampires contained. Yes, he is behind bars right now. No bites for the discount vampire.
Revenge my brother. I prosecuted Ryunosuke's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the scribe prosecutor until he consented.
What do you mean by the scribe prosecutor?
The man in charge of the professor's case in inquiry, Lord Male Strongheart.
Wait, what? Lord Strongheart?
He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person whom I felt indebted.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case. I recognize your potential as a prosecutor.
Anyway, time passed. Then earlier this year, you should have arrived in London, but you.
Ah!
And of all things, the lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese.
I kept telling myself it was illogical. For so many years, the hatred had festered inside me. I no longer control it.
I can understand why. Now I know the history.
But in the same way I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life. To Kazuma Sogi, I'm the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow.
Ryunosuke has nothing to say about that. Oh, we can finally ask about the gun. I'm gonna ask about the gun first before Gregson. Sorry, Gregson.
About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Yes, that's not mine.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
Embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When did you lose it then?
I don't know.
Oh!
I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps.
He did not care about that, did he?
You have something in common with Lord Van Zieks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things.
Oh, no, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it.
You make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese.
Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it?
Smack them both, Susato.
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure.
Okay, Inspector Gregson.
Gregson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. But he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Oh, yes. Come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
He wanted to take Gina with him.
I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean.
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh!
Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place.
It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed.
You know, I just realized I meant to explain the fact that the title for this video, that people probably don't know what a psychopomp is. That means anything that ferries souls to the place that they're supposed to be, whether that's like the afterlife or like separate afterlife realms. You know, Reapers, Shinagamis, the butterflies from Japanese lore. There should be another thing I know of that does that, but that's what Psychopomp means. So I essentially was just saying the Reaper's in jail for the title, and I meant to mention that from the outset, but I forgot because I had an issue pop up that resolved itself, and I'm still confused about that. Okay, where were we? Yeah, oh, Gregson being able to go to Paris, and everyone is confused about that. Okay.
I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We heard that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard.
Did you know that?
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago. Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. And my brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determine it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death.
So, you must have great confidence in the inspector's abilities, then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
It's quiet.
Inspector Gregson.
Oh. Okay. Closing argument.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Really trying there, aren't we, Van Zieks?
Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. There's still one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth.
Lord Van Zieks.
The very first time we clashed in the Baily, almost a year ago now. I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wish I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese, who has absolute integrity as a lawyer.
Ooh.
There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Osogi.
A man he idolized, and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph?
All three of them.
Back when I was able to laugh, I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe.
That's called paranoia. I'm also sorry. Ryunosuke saying sorry.
I am so sorry.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want you to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Ooh. Of course I will. It would be an honor. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my life is in your hands.
Oop, fade to black. Is that a to be continued? Nope. Okay, hi Ryunosuke.
Our Lord Van Zieks. That must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. Which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the old Baily, against my old friend, Kazuma.
It's just black still. Oh, there's the to be continued. Alrighty. It's gonna ask me to save now. Right? Yes, I would like to save first. I'll have it on record even. There we go. Alright. I know it's a little early. And by a little, by quite a bit, like half an hour. But I do have something I need to do. So it would help me out if I ended the stream a little early. But I think that's also, given that we're at a to be continued, that's a pretty good stopping point. It's not a cliffhanger like last time. We'll take what we can get because I for sure know there's a lot of cliffhanger moments in this one. So yeah. We gotta see more about Van Zieks, and he's not a complete jerk. He actually called Ryunosuke by his family name. He called him Mr. Naruhodo. He finally got the stick out from his butt. We also got to see Kazuma again, and Kazuma is just acting weird, and Ryunosuke definitely picked that up. He's like, Kazuma's hostile. I'm like, you don't say! But he's kind of friendly still too. But, I mean, we've had him talk to Ryunosuke a few times, and usually he's a very intense person. Kazuma's very intense, if that wasn't obvious. He keeps slashing things apart. You've cut, like I mentioned before, he cut the hair tie of Prosecutor Aochi, and then he cut the wax figure in half, and I'm still yelling him about that because, like, Kazuma, what the heck, man? That's an art piece! What the heck? He's so rude! But yeah, now he's gone a little beyond intense, and I'm like, oh, we're in for a bad time. He is going to be so grumpy. It's gonna be... Kazuma's gonna be a tough opponent as the prosecutor. And now we officially have Ryunosuke as the defense lawyer, so we're in for a metaphoric boxing ring next in the trial. Desperation is hard on Discount Vampire. He's actually being polite. I think he's just opening up more too. I think he's actually going like, Ryunosuke has never wronged me despite me being a jerk to him, and he's finally showing some politeness to him. Let's hope it continues. Because we do know that Van Zieks is a bit of a sap. And this was actually already shown, if you remember, a couple streams ago, where after we got a not guilty verdict for Professor Hairbrain, he had already booked and paid for the boat and train tickets for Albert to go back home in Germany. So he trusted Naruhodo to get a not guilty verdict before either of them set foot into the courthouse. He was freaking betting on it. I'm like, Van Zieks, I think is like the biggest tsundere ever. Or something else. Maybe not tsundere, because that's like, I don't care about you or anything, baka kind of thing. That's why it's a mem. I think Van Zieks kind of in that vein. He's kind of like, I will never say I care about people or anything, but I'm a huge, colossal, sentimental sap. He's such a goofy man. Like I said, keep saying, are you really an Ace Attorney character if you don't have a dumb side to you? Ah, jeez. Anyway, that will be it for this stream. It is the opening stream of the week. If I remember correctly, we got Paper Mario. Super Paper Mario. I do own. I could play that, but we're not playing that tomorrow. We're playing more of the 1,000-Year Door tomorrow. Hopefully I can get through Hooktail's Castle. And I don't remember the next stage after that. I do want to get to some of the other... Oh wait, it might be the Poonie with the Poonies. The little big tree. I think it's the tree one. Yeah, I think it's a tree. I don't remember where we go after that. I do want to get to Glitzvale, and the island arc is kind of fun. There's so many fun parts of 1,000-Year-Old Door, so I'm very happy to be playing it. Maybe I should put a separate save file so I can play it off stream, but I've been busy, so I haven't even had the time. I've been playing other games too, but anyway. It's very much an old favorite of mine, so I'm very happy to be able to play it on stream. And then we have Stardew Valley this week on Thursday, and the other stream that's more relevant to you peoples. That on Friday, we are going to be having another stream of The Great Ace Attorney. So that will be the start of the trial section. Probably going to be in 2 parts. Actually, I've already mentioned this episode and episode 10 are... It's split in half. It's kind of like a little different, but it's also kind of the same trial. It's a bit complicated. I don't know why they didn't just combine the 2, but they did, like, just have one really long end trial, but no. I guess they didn't have a... I guess they didn't want to put, like, a 4 fluff trial in or something. Nah. I'm not the developer, I don't know. I haven't seen any interviews or anything, but yeah. So, we will pick up The Great Ace Attorney Friday. So, look forward to that. And I think that's all I have to say. Yes. Except, I'm very grateful for all of you coming. Whether you're a subscriber on YouTube or a follower on Twitch. And I appreciate any interaction you're willing to give. So that's like, you know, liking and commenting on the video and all that. The usual stuff everybody says because it's nice having a reminder. But yeah, still very grateful for all that. And I will have to leave you all with fond farewells of bye-bye. And I hope to see you next time.